Evening, call to order the Town of St. John Plan Commission regular meeting for September 17th, 2025. Would invite all that are able to stand for the pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Abernathy, can we get the roll call, please?
Justin Nestor.
Present.
Colin Enchway.
Present.
Joe Gomestagel.
Present.
Rudy Bambick.
Present.
Russ Vogel.
Here.
John Gill.
Here.
Ashley Abernathy present. Adam Decker.
Present.
John Dykstra.
Here.
Bill Manasopoulos.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. Agenda item number 4, approval of minutes. Item A, the August 20, 2025 public meeting minutes. I assume everybody's had the chance to review them. Any questions, comments? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the August 20th, 2025 public meeting minutes.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Gill, second by Mr. M. Choi. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Approved 7-0. Agenda item number 5, 5A, 2025-10 Park West, request for primary plat for the Park West subdivision located at Calumet Avenue, approximately 193.5 feet south of 101st Avenue. Mr. Kell.
Good evening, everyone. I know that from the study session, we had one outstanding issue that we needed to address, which I believe is, everybody will recall, is the left turn lane on Calumet Avenue. We have been working with the property owner on the east side of Calumet that basically owns the corner of Calumet and 101st. And we will put the left-hand turn lane in. We will be installing it. It'll either be via easement or grant of right-of-way as that property develops. But in any event, we will be installing the left-hand turn lane. So I know that was I've been working on that for the last few weeks to make sure that we can get that installed because it really needs to take place on Calumet Avenue. So I just wanted to go through that first because that was one of the outstanding issues we had. I had an opportunity to speak to some folks here, so I can just tell you that they were wondering a couple things. The bike trail and the walking trail is going to connect from the east side of Calumet, run up the front of our property, tie into Providence Bank. So that trail system was going to connect there. They asked about the fire station lot. The municipal lot is going to be deeded to the town. That is accurate. And then it is up to the town then to, of course, to budget and things like that in order to decide to, if they can or can't, or when they can, build a fire station there. But that will be deeded to the town, and it will be shown that way on the final plat as well. The commercial lot on the bottom, the very south end of the development, I am here to tell you we are not building on that. So I know that was a concern, some of the folks that live there, but I can tell you, we're not building on it. I am committing that to the Plan Commission to the town right now.
What about the property, all that property along there?
Well, we're going to let Mr. Kill give his presentation, okay?
Yeah,
then I'll go ahead and open for public comment. Anybody who wants to come up can ask questions.
The entire length of the frontage of, it would be Greystone there, we're not building anything. It's going to stay as is, so we're simply not going to do that. I know that was a concern as well. Some of the folks here probably going to have a request for, I think, Billy, so turn around. I guess we'll have to work on that together, but just for the garbage trucks, Amazon, everything like that, it's getting to be kind of a pain for some of the folks there, so that's kind of nice. Mr. McFarland, I believe, is going to be building the units, and these folks are very familiar with Ron. He's built most of their homes, so he's working on a nice design right now, a little bit better than what we presented for zoning, so can't wait. It's going to be nice. And I can't remember, I don't have any more notes from the last meeting that I needed to address, and if the Plan Commission has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right, anyone from the panel, questions, comments, Mr. Kill?
Just, we're still tying in the water main out of Greystone, aren't we?
That is accurate, yes.
Okay.
And we're working with Brad, too.
For that 12 in the front?
12, that is correct, yes. Just as you saw in the plans.
Okay.
Anyone? Questions, comments? All right. Thank you, Mr. Kell. With that, we'll go ahead and open public comment for 2025-10 Park West. At this time, if there's any members of the public who would like to come up and speak as to the applicant's request for a primary plat, feel free to do so. We just need your name and address for the record, please.
Make sure that that's not, because usually they come up here and say, well, I'm building, then they sell the property, they'll build.
Yes, our big concern here tonight is the end of Black Opal Lane Street.
Ma'am, can we get your name and address for the record, please, so my record keeping can be correct?
Pardon?
Name and address for the record.
10310 Black Opal Lane.
And name?
Joyce Legacy.
Thank you.
We are concerned about that there because of traffic. Before, when the field was there, they used to come right in there with their trucks and go right into the field. We had that happen many a time. And we got very, not too happy to see your latest model that says construction, not construction, but commercial. Is that going to go all along that strip there? Who can answer that?
Joyce, he said he wasn't building
All along the bottom there? No?
That's what I said, yes.
Okay.
It is zone commercial, that's why it shows as commercial, because it's zone commercial.
Okay.
Well, what we're concerned about is a turnabout there at the end of our street, which we feel, and that's why we're here, is very important. A small cul-de-sac or a half-round, whatever you want to call it, they put one in across the street, it's perfect. A little blacktop and a big curb, and it works. No one tries to come in and go out, or no one tries to go in or out. And we really would like to see that happen on our side of the street also. We really would appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Juanita Sullivan. I live at 10303 Black Opal Lane. So what Joyce was trying to explain was the incident that we had. We had a truck that went in there. He lost his fender because of trying, and they go four-wheeling in the field, which is why we would like to have the cul-de-sac put in there. Another reason is because my driveway, my curb, and my neighbors across the street from me, their curb is cracked because we get trucks that it dead ends. There's nowhere for them to go, so they're turning around in our driveways. So that's another reason for that. But I would like to propose, and we discussed with him about what to do with that commercial lot one. I had a suggestion to tie in there's a walking path to the east in the Old Toff Homes that comes through, but then it dead ends by the Schilling and other Greystone development that was done 8 years ago. And I thought it would be nice to bring it across Calumet and use that parcel of land for that. And if you have the cul-de-sac there, people can park, bring their bikes and ride if they're not going to use it for anything. I mean, behind it is the wetlands, so they can't build on the wetlands anyhow. So I had thrown that out to him about dedicating it to the city, to the village, for the purposes of a walking trail. And like, if you've ever been in Frankfurt on Ridgeland Avenue, I believe it's in Matson, they have the same thing where they have a walking bike trail that goes across, and they have stop signs for the people on the trail. But then they also have signs, flashing lights for people to slow down. And it actually works because I lived over there before I moved over here. I mean, you just don't have the people driving, erratically there because they know what it is. So that's all I wanted to say was, those are my proposed suggestions for it.
Thank you.
Hello, John Borsma. I live at 15634 West 103rd Lane in Dyer. However, I'm here more on the behalf of Providence Christian Academy. We are the landowner immediately to the west of this. First concern is that this is the first public notice we ever received for anything regarding this property. I'm very concerned that this is the first time, not with the rezoning, not with anything else. This is the first letter we received. We are the property owner immediately to the west. Looking at previous meeting minutes, it was even referenced that the adjacent landowner was contacted and they're happy to see, things change. We were never contacted, okay? Number two, we really don't have an issue with the townhomes and so on coming in. We understand this is progress, this happens. Probably our biggest concern is what is actually happening along the property edge, what we're going to see. And I guess I would like to ask the Plan Commission, the way that I understand things is you get approvals to do work before you do work. I am wondering why we are in a meeting about the plat and a subdivision plan when work has begun. I would really like to know that. And maybe I'm missing a process, and I know I'm not the professional, but at least in the commercial world, we don't start until we have permits and formal approvals. How does land development start without the approvals for, in this case, a primary plat? How do they know where to dig? How do they have their stakes and surveys out there? How do they know to move dirt? Last time I checked, this is more than what, I think 10 acres? Isn't there, IWPP, and so on for soil conservation and so on? I have no issues with what they've done. They have silt fence and so on, but I would like to ask this Plan Commission, specifically St. John, one, why we weren't notified before. Two, how work has begun before this has been approved. I would really like to know that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joyce Dittman, 74-1 West 92nd Lane, Crown Point, Indiana. I do have a question. Apparently, there's only one entrance and one exit into that subdivision, correct? It's off of Calumet. So you're going to have 156 townhomes have one in and out street. And I know you have nothing to do with this because this was already approved by town council, so there's really not much you can do. But to me, it doesn't really make sense to have one entrance and one exit. There's no green space that I see here either. And St. John seems to be cramming townhomes down our throats. We have this one here, there's one proposed for further south that's not even contiguous to St. John. They've also started the development on the one between 93rd and 101st with over 600 townhomes in there with 2 entrances. Now, I can't blame you guys because you guys didn't approve this. But if this is the Planning Commission, like the gentleman said, you should have the option to say, hey, no, we think you do this, this is too concentrated, you need this. But apparently none of those things are going to get done.
Thank you.
Excuse me for being so delayed to get to the microphone.
Take your
here
time.
at the lectern. Gentlemen, as I'm walking up here, I'm going to take some of my minutes, have done a job of taking care of St. John building as it's supposed to. But in the future, we have to look at road traffic conditions and so forth. And hopefully you folks studied Calumet Avenue. And you know what the study is and what the future will be off 109th, maybe behind Ileana to the state line, which will be probably in 5-10 years from now. But that doesn't impose on you. I just want to thank you for the time to talk to you, and hopefully you've read the letter that I've put, or you've been put in your packet in regards to my resolve to either postpone, mainly because but the answers have been taken care of that I've seen in regards to the commercial lot being ideal. We'll probably have to talk to the, what other committee is that resolves the point of commercial to all, different ratings. But that is what I have to say. It's not much, but most of it's been said already, and hopefully you do plan and consider these options. Thank you.
Thank you. We do have your letter, sir.
Thank you.
Hi. Judy Courthauer, 10406 Garnet Way, Dyer, St. John, whatever. My question is traffic. I mean, now, it's horrible with just the Greystone and the Schilling, you know, the whole Greystone. We have the school. When that school lets out, when both schools let out, have you ever gone down that road at like 2:30 in the afternoon? It's backed up as far as you can see. And nobody cares about how fast they go or how slow they go. They're speeding through. And they blow the light at Greystone all the time. I mean, I don't know if there was a traffic study ever done prior to this. I mean, that's my concern, and I know that's the concern of my neighbors and everybody else who lives in that subdivision, is traffic. We're gonna have, and then when they build south of us, which is already in the planning stage, that's gonna make it worse. And the other concern is the entrance into Greystone, which with the construction traffic, the heavy cement trucks, the road's falling apart. And I understand that is the county's responsibility, it's not St. John's. I don't know, but we have asked for that road to be, the potholes to be fixed, going into Greystone, going to the west, and nothing has happened. They marked it, it was all marked, and now the markings, it's been so long, the markings are gone. And I don't know, I mean, that's a concern. The traffic, I don't know about a traffic study, but the traffic and the construction traffic, because now we got more construction traffic to the north of us. So, just.
Thank you.
I don't want to take up everybody's time, but I have another question that I like brought to us sometime is, what is the square footage of these places of 156 of them? What is the square footage? And what are they going to ask for them? What is the price of those? We are all very interested in that for our own information, for what we have with beautiful yards and everything else. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else from the public who would like to come up? I'll make a second call for public comment. Third and final call for public comment. With that, public comment is closed. Mr. Kill, if you'd like to come back up and address some of the issues that were raised.
I guess the first issue is the earthwork. We did apply for all the necessary SWIP permits from the town and from IDEM and received our notice of sufficiency, and I believe our sign should be posted out there. All they're doing is stripping black dirt. We are well aware of the fact that no development can occur until primary plat approval. That's what they're doing out there. As far as the gentleman getting notice, they were sent out. All the adjacent property owners received, I'm sorry, I can't, answer what happened
Can you just
previously.
maybe explain that process of certified letters? And
Yeah,
what you have to-
every
that just-
adjacent
just because it
property
was
owner-
raised as an issue.
Well, there's a sign that's required to be posted on the property. Every adjacent property owner has to have a certified letter, return receipt, and we have to put an ad in the newspaper. And I know the town, I believe, has it on the town's website now. So I know there are 4 areas of notification. And what usually happens, if anybody's even driving by, they'll see that sign, and then they'll call the town hall. Or they'll jump on the town's website, and then they're notified that way. But if you live adjacent to it, you get a personal letter. So that's just the process. And we follow that every time, so. I'm not exactly sure about the bike trail that this lady was talking about inside of Greystone. Obviously, I work with Billy on it. I just don't know exactly where it's at, though. I mean,
It's the Old Toff subdivision to the east. That came in before Greystone.
Saddle Creek?
Steve, right at where they put the water easement for Greystone, the bike path right back there that leads to nothing, and then Saddle Creek has one coming right to Brad Lambert's land,
Well,
which
Brad-
Brad was gonna connect.
okay, well, I can tell you, I think that's what I was trying to explain. We know Saddle Creek has one. Brad Lambert St. John Commons was required to take their bike trail to where we're going to build. We are going to build ours that's going to connect to theirs, that's going to connect to Saddle Creek. So everybody's going to connect.
So, but it's gonna connect, but you're saying yours is gonna go north-south.
We are going to
Towards
take,
the bank.
well, we're going to take the east-west bike trail, turn it north-south, get it by 101st so it connects to all the businesses.
So it'll connect to Calumet and run to 101st. What I'm proposing is to keep it going, straight across, west, into the other Old Toff subdivision to the west behind Greystone, so that we're all tied in.
There is, if you're talking about that subdivision to the west, that I don't know that that's Altoff, that is, I don't remember who built that, but
It's,
there is no trail system over there to tie into, though.
no, because there never.
The county, that was the county subdivision, there's no trail system. That's why we're gonna propose going and putting the wide trail up Calumet, so it actually connects to everything, not just dead ends in the middle of a field. But I understand where she's coming from, but that subdivision is outside of town in the county, and there's really no connection point, though, that I'm aware of.
Was that Emerald?
Emerald Crossing, yeah.
Emerald Crossing, yeah.
Yes, that's it, Emerald Crossing.
Okay.
That's why when I was working with Ashley about how we're gonna connect this trail system here, we ultimately looked and said, well, if we run it up Calumet and make it wider and make it an actual trail, at least it'll connect and you can take it somewhere. Nothing's more disappointing than taking a trail and it dead ends into nothing, but this will get you all the commercial and everything that's, people could potentially just walk to or ride their bikes to.
Well, that would take you into Emerald Crossing, so people from Emerald Crossing would access it to go east.
I can't get through the homes. That's the problem. I understand, I get where she's coming from, but I just simply can't get through the homes. The town would almost have to, well, it's not in
What you're
town, so
proposing
I
is
don't know
it
how
goes
you.
up to Calumet to 101st, then would interconnect with,
Well, Emerald Crossings can pick it up on 101st and then come around. It's just they can't make that back cut in there. And I mean, that's not even something the town would be able to do because, I don't know, you can't condemn property for that. That's,
There's no sidewalks up there.
it's something that, I mean, Billy's listening, he's right, and it's something the town almost would have to look into, just to,
okay.
as a more of a global picture, but as far as, the other concern was putting a hammerhead, where you just come up, a little bit of pavement on each side, just so the truck can turn around. And the reason that Mr. Schilling didn't do that is he didn't own the property, or he would have put a turnaround up there. So I think, to answer your question, Billy's writing that down now, and I'm sure I will get a call. So,
The snow plow has
concerned
do the same
telling
thing
us
with the garbage
stories.
truck.
The garbage truck, snow plows, deliveries,
They
they,
have to back up this way, snow
But they'll
plows
sell
just
that
come
property
in,
without
come
any
around.
restrictions, and then all of a sudden, hey, we didn't have anything to do.
I'm sure I will get a call.
Is that,
Yeah, that's what I told her before the meeting. I said, I'm sure Billy's going to give me a call on that one, so. I do understand that. That makes perfect sense, yes.
well, I guess see what we can work out on that. And the other thing was, the mention that I had in my notes about a traffic study for Calumet.
This Calumet Avenue has been studied 1,000 times. When we came in for the zoning and for the PUD, it was determined it was not necessary to have a traffic study. We do need a left turn lane, which we're committing to put in there. As the commercial corner develops, I'm sure that maybe something on the intersection there is going to be looked at, but I can tell you that Denny Cobb from First Group Engineering exhaustively looked at all this 3 times. Looked at it in 2018, 19, and 20, when the town was doing that road impact fee. And ran all the numbers. The town has all the data on this, every number you can imagine on Calumet and 101st. And everybody sees it, and even the folks that live there, Calumet runs on surges. Everybody's going to Illinois in the morning, everybody's coming back from Illinois in the evening. Other than those 2 peak periods, the traffic is not bad. Those 2 peak periods, it gets rough. Well, it's just like when you're coming out of Lake Central. Don't go by Lake Central High School at 2:30 in the afternoon. Everybody that is around here knows exactly. But I can tell you, it flows. It does flow in Calumet, and it's been studied exhaustively.
Okay. Anyone on the panel, questions, comments?
I just have a comment on the public notice. So as part of the process, whenever a petitioner sends out those mailings and that newspaper, they are required to give me copies of the adjacent property owner list, a copy of either the white mailing cards when they get them and green cards when they receive them, a copy of the legal notice, and then a picture of the sign on the property. Each time a public hearing occurs, I review these before we even get to the public hearing, because if it's not properly noticed, I'm noting it on our agenda, I'm telling you at the meeting, and I'm also letting the petitioner know, hey, you missed a step, it cannot go forward. On both the rezone and this one, Providence Christian Academy was on the adjacent property owner list. Why they did not receive their certified mail, I cannot say to that one, because once it goes to the post office, it's into the post office hands. And
But isn't there a receipt that you get from the post office that says
so
this is
if the
certified mail,
post
they
office,
should have it?
but if the post office doesn't either get the green card signed, doesn't return the green card, or loses it, we don't get it back. What I'm really looking at when they first give it to me is that white mailing receipt, because that tells me when it got posted. Because it's got to be mailed out at least that minimum of 10 days prior to the public hearing. There's been times where I've received green cards back 3 months post a public hearing.
See, Joe, I can prove, and every petitioner can prove we mailed them, but once the post office has them, it's up to them to find the property owner. I can't, but I can tell you everything was mailed
So you do
correctly.
have a copy of.
Ashley has all that.
I have them and I review them.
They have where Providence got
Where it was mailed to them, what happened once it was in the post office hands.
okay.
I can't account for
So
once
we
it's
call the
mailed.
Postmaster General and see what's up with this. I could do that tomorrow morning, right?
Well,
What happened with that?
depending on where it goes, what regional it goes through,
No, I know.
I mean, just like when you track your own packages, sometimes it starts in Gary and lands up in Dalton, and next thing you know, it's in Indianapolis. So, unfortunately, we
It's
can't
highly
control
unlikely
them.
you'll ever get an answer, Ashley.
Yeah, but I can
Okay.
certain for say, we got the white mailing receipt.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
As far as this property that you said, the commercial lot all the way across, is not going to be built, right?
We are not building anything,
You are
no.
not, you are not building.
We are not, no.
But if you sell that property, it's out of your hands, right?
If we sold the property, then they would have to come back in, anybody, they would be subject to, when you have a commercial piece of property next to residential, the requirements are exhaustive that the town has, buffer zones, all that. That's why I'm not gonna sit here, I tell you that somebody couldn't do it, but I don't know anybody that's gonna wanna spend the time, the money in that for that tiny little lot. Because it's exhaustive. That's why we're not even looking at it, Joe. We're not even considering building on it.
Why don't you just donate it then?
Like I said, I'm sure now that the turnaround stuff came up, I'm sure Billy's gonna be giving me a call. I can't simply commit to that.
No, I know,
I'm not the owner of that's something that's beyond my scope of ability to commit to, yes.
And I can
But I
understand
get what you're saying, and I understand.
And part of the problem we've had here is that some of the decisions have been made by the previous administration of the town, and now we're kind of looking at it, and it's on our lap. And then we have some constituents out there who come to us and say, we were told that nobody was going to build over there and all that. So as you're saying that, so I'm going, how can we solve this problem when you're out here saying, we're not going to build on it, but the birth of big butt sticks up here, that all of a sudden, oh, well, we sold it. They can't.
Oh, no, I mean, like I said, I can't commit that. I can tell you right now that we will not do that. That's what I can tell you, and I can't tell you we can donate it to the town because that's simply not my, but I mean, the folks that brought up the turnaround and everything like that, makes a lot of sense. And that's why I know Billy's gonna be giving me a buzz.
And
Saying, hey, snow plows, deliveries, garbage trucks, makes sense. So,
something we could have ironed out before final plat too, correct? If there were changes to it?
oh, I can, well, yeah, I mean, final plat would, yeah, we still have another final plat here, yes. And I, like I said, these are all things that are beyond my ability to commit to, because I'm not, you know, obviously I'm the representative, but I'm concentrating on the things for the plat. These are donations of land and stuff, and so, but I will be getting a call and running that by everybody.
Okay.
I mean, is there any way, Steve, that there's 3 dead ends here? It's gonna,
Well, they're really not dead ends. They're all tied together. Here.
We got it here.
yeah, right here.
We got it right here.
Yeah,
They're all
there's
tied together.
1,
No, 1,
2, and 3.
Three.
Right.
Well, this one,
It's a dead end,
this
right?
is-
There's
yeah.
none.
Oh, you're talking about these, here, I
Yeah,
thought you were
yeah.
talking about.
No. We're
This
talking
is-
from the entire site plan view.
I mean, Steve, you've been around. You know how hard that is to back a plow truck up if someone
Well,
parks
and
right
that's-
here.
Well, that's what Black Opal, that's the problem there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why these, if you notice, these are very short. I mean, you push there and you come right back. So
Yeah.
we made these extremely, 1 lot length. And again, that's why I want to work with Billy here. That's why do you think that one's like it is? This one I can work on doing something with. Because we own the property.
Okay.
Sure.
At the end here, this one I don't know what I'm gonna do with.
There's none you can do with that. That's
But
the
why
bank.
don't you let me work on those, and I know what you want.
Yeah.
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 That's
No, I
exactly
mean,
it.
yeah, I have no problem just making this a nice little turn area. I will do that, I'll commit to you to that, yes.
Because that's just, I mean, we're saying 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the same as Black Opal.
No, I'll do it, yeah.
I just think, wintertime, I mean, you know how it is.
It makes
It's,
sense, no, I'm glad you brought that up.
them dead ends are just like a dead end water main. It's,
So those are private drives, so I don't think the town would be plowing those, like Garnett Lane and Black Opal Lane, right?
no,
The
that's,
only public street in the whole
Yeah, so
development-
Park West Court would
Park
get
West Court.
plowed. The rest would be plowed by their maintenance.
I mean, these are all private streets. I mean, does that make any difference to you, or? Because a private contractor is gonna be plowing.
all right, so we're just doing this roundabout right
You're
there.
doing the cul-de-sac, that's it.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Is that, you like that?
So,
Public Works likes that, yeah. Well, no, that's why we only have the one public street. I mean, but if we're asked by like the homeowner association, may do something over there for the, for the maintenance people, but,
or there's a homeowners association.
oh, yeah, just like in all the developments,
In that homeowners-
just like we have in all of them, all of that's taken care of. All the plowing, all of it. Grass mowing, whole 9 yards. The people don't do anything.
One exit, one entrance. Could you help me out with that?
What's that? I'm
One
sorry.
exit, one entrance. Can you help me out with that? I was a volunteer fireman here for several years, and that's when we used to jump on the trucks and hang on to the rail. But in this case, I find it kind of tough for the fire department agreeing that this is okay.
Greystone's
That's
the
how,
same way.
Greystone's the same way, that's
I
how,
don't,
same
you know
way.
what?
no, that's how it was
The
approved, Joe.
Greystone- I'm talking about this.
That's
now.
how it was approved.
Okay.
I mean, because
That's how it was approved?
and again, you have Calumet, so you want cuts on Calumet for subdivisions, but you don't want so many that you're all of a sudden gonna have traffic in and out, so
I'm not disagreeing with you.
when we looked at that, it was,
It's not enough. 10 is too many, 5 is too many. Perhaps there's some artistical way that we could do it, engineering-wise. That's what I'm saying, because there would be a nasty issue if all these individuals had to leave in case of emergency. You're having a serious problem right there.
oh, if they had to leave in case of an emergency, they would get out no matter how.
Excuse me, we're talking.
If every single person had to go at once, I've never seen that, but I guess it could happen, but
But, you
I
know
guess
what?
my only answer is this is how the PUD was approved.
Oh, that's why I.
It is just how the PUD was approved, and,
And reviewed by fire also.
I mean, it was reviewed and approved this way, Joe. I don't have another
Fire
answer.
department.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. Only one,
And the only suggestion was the left-hand turn lane from the police department, which we've committed to put in. We're going to put it in.
but that was when the plat was approved, is that correct? Oh.
No, that's what we're here on now. We're here on primary plat now.
So are you saying that the people coming out of this new subdivision, are they only gonna be able to make a right-hand turn out of there? Because how are they gonna get out going to the left?
It's full access, in and out.
I mean, if there's no stoplight there, I know what it's like for me in the morning to get out of Greystone. There's a stoplight that we have. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to look at it in a different way, that, those people are never going to be able to make a left turn out of there in the morning. Never. I mean, so
Okay.
how are they gonna get out? They're gonna end up making a right turn, coming into Greystone, flipping a U-turn at the light to be able to make a left turn to go north.
Mr. President, if I may, for record-keeping purposes, this is going to be really difficult if the audience keeps talking.
Okay.
It's a full access intersection, obviously. When we do the XL decel in the left-hand turn lane, when the property owner then comes in across the street on the corner, in essence, what we're going to end up with here is a bidirectional center turn lane. So that'll take the traffic.
I'm sorry.
In essence, what you're going to end up with, Joe, is that when we put our turn lane in, and the gentleman across the street, or whoever the developer is, in essence, what you're going to end up with is a bidirectional center turn lane. That's what you're going to have, and as far as a light, you cannot put a light that close to a light. You just simply can't do it. Greystone's about the distance you would want to be, and anybody that moves in here, they're moving in here for the proximity to Illinois, among a lot of, I'm sure there's other considerations, but that's one of the primary considerations, is the proximity to access to Illinois for work and stuff. It's usually what everybody, my experience in talking to people over the last 30 years, that's kind of what drives that. So if you have to wait a couple minutes or a minute, and most of the time it's 15, 20 seconds, feels like 10 hours, okay?
All right, anyone else, questions, comments?
If the plan commission has any questions for the engineer that reviewed this for the town, he is in attendance tonight. But I do have a letter from him in our packet for satisfactory approval contingent upon approving the achieving the appropriate IDEM related permits and or federal or state related permits. But he is in the audience if the plan commission has
Okay.
questions.
With that, I would open the floor for a motion. Approval, primary plat.
I would recommend any approval be contingent upon the installation of the left-hand turn lane as committed to by the developer tonight. Well, in that case, I will make a motion to approve the primary plat in that the plat does establish for the acceptable establishment of minimum width, depth, and area of lots within the subdivision in as much as it does meet the minimum requirement of the St. John subdivision control ordinance, and in this case, their rezone ordinance, that the plat does provide for the acceptable minimum provisions for building separation, vehicle circulation, and parking compatible site improvements and signage, in as much as it does meet the minimum requirements of the St. John subdivision control ordinance, and in the case of this one, they're rezone for PUD, and that the plat does provide for the coordination of subdivision streets and entrances and existing with planned streets and highways, contingent upon the installation of the left-hand turn lane as committed to by the developer at the meeting tonight.
So a motion by Ms. Abernathy. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Brambick. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Go your nay.
Yes.
6-1. All right, that concludes the agenda item 5 for public hearings. Next, item 6A is 2025-17 Gates of St. John, units 29A and 29B, lots 1 and 3. Request for site plan approval.
Okay, we have, at the study session, I did present basically this exact site plan here. I know that Adam did review the plans. He came up with a laundry list of items. We have since made those corrections. The only thing that we did not do that Adam had on his list is, it's hard to see, but in the center, he wanted to look at another island. Well, we're kind of looking at these buildings. I know that one side's whited out, I'm not sure, but we're looking at the buildings kind of in tandem. And using that center as kind of a walkway from the back, if anybody ever parked in the back there closest to, I call it the back closest to 109th Avenue, not 109th Square. So that's the only reason that's not there. It is surrounded by green. We did do a dumpster enclosure drawing. Adam asked for that, so that is the second item. I don't know if Ashley, I'm sure she has it. The bottom line is, everybody has seen the architecture that the town council picked out. The dumpster enclosures are going to be like in kind. All brick, gates, I mean, it's going to be top notch. So we did take care of those items. If you look, we added all the little circles that are on the landscape plan. What those are, I didn't know how to draw a pot. We're going to, instead of dig down into the concrete, we're going to have planters, is what we decided on when we were going through the design for this. And so we're going to put planters on 109th Square. The businesses are going to add planters. That's, it's kind of a downtown, which is a sea of concrete and asphalt. So we're going to put planters. And each business is going to do that. The businesses will have the option to put a little fence on 109th Square. I know that most of them will probably want to do that, especially the restaurants. Right now, we have approval for restaurant uses and professional office uses that are above the second story, but not above restaurants. So that's what the use approval that was given to us by the town council was. So we are ready to start building A on the site plan, so we're ready to actually start building that and getting some new businesses in. So, but I want to do the site plan for the twin buildings, obviously. So hopefully we'll get that building, get some people moved in there, then we can get moving on the other one. And I am asking to defer Lot 1 tonight. I'm only asking for approval for what you see as Lot 3 right here, and again, for the commercial. So we can get that submitted downstate and get a building moving.
Okay. Questions, comments, as it pertains to Lot 3?
Same thing, the engineer who reviewed this is in attendance should there be a question for him tonight. He did have a review letter that was included in your packet, and we did get that resubmittal this afternoon, or early this morning.
If you have any questions, be happy to answer them. The full plan set it's in. We've addressed all the concerns with the exception of that one center island, which I just explained why. Other than that, everything has been handled as per, any questions from the staff or the engineer. We've addressed them all.
Okay. Questions, comments? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval of site plan for Lot 1?
Lot
Or Lot
3.
3?
Just Lot 3, yeah.
Lot 3, sorry.
I'm asking to defer, I'm not asking for any action on Lot 1 tonight.
I'll make a motion to approve Lot 3 site plan approval and defer Lot 1.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Emschway, second by Mr. Vogel. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Mr. Nestor, if you don't mind, if I'm not needed here for the request just to advertise for that two-lot subdivision, I am actually on my way to Florida. I'm supposed to be leaving right now. If you need me here, that's fine, but it's a very simple. At the study session, we have the two lots, that's it. And it's just to advertise for a public hearing in October.
I got you. I think we'll be good.
Thank you.
Actually, reach out if there's any issues.
Okay.
Item 6B, 2025-16 Gambos, requesting final plat for one lot subdivision located at 9291 Cardell Drive.
Yeah, that's it. I think this is for the final signing for the lot on Cardell and 93rd.
Okay.
I think everything's been approved prior. I spoke with Tarenga again today, and just making sure that I'm here to make sure if there's any questions or anything like that.
From the town's perspective, everything's fine?
Subdivision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perspective is good, and I believe Mr. Dykstra has submitted a satisfactory letter.
I wasn't going to skip you. I was going to
Yeah,
get to you.
mine's pretty boring compared to what, all the other
Yeah.
things, so mine's just one lot.
I got you. All right.
I don't know what to say because it's just a
Any other
lot.
questions, comments from the panel? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval of final plat for one lot subdivision.
I'll make a motion to grant final plat approval for one lot subdivision at 9291 Cardell Drive.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gill, second by Mr. Vogel. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
You're all set. Thank you. Item C, 2025-14, 9301 Corner LLC. Request for site plan approval for Lot 1 located at the southeast corner of Wicker Avenue, 93rd Avenue. Mr. Huss, good evening.
Good evening. Tonight I'm here speaking with you on behalf of SJ 9301 LLC and Wintrust Bank. The development before you is Lot 1 of the SJ 9301 Edition PUD, otherwise known as 9301 Wicker Avenue and otherwise known as the immediate southeast corner of US 41 and 93rd. The intended redevelopment of this corner proposes a two-story Wintrust Bank branch office. Wintrust is the two-story model for this location. The lower story, obviously being a much more public-facing, the upper story is single offices, a conference room, break room facilities. The terrace, or what seems to be a third level on this building, is simply a capture for the elevator. The building will be fully ADA accessible despite its small building footprint. Other site amenities include very tasteful signage, a very, very extensive landscaping plan, site lighting, and 3 exterior teller windows and/or tubes, 3 lanes total. Structure is very attractive in keeping with the town standards on US 41. Building fascia consists of a mix of dark masonry, glass, metal panels, and limestone windowsills. Some housekeeping items to go through. I know we were at study session 2 weeks ago. Engineering approval for this development was, or at least the letter approving the engineering work behind it was approved and received on September 9th of this month. In that approval letter was a mention of one conditional item related to an NDOT driveway that was on some earlier illustrations of the plan that we have on the screen here. It became through a bit of correspondence that NDOT simply would not entertain a driveway to US 41 at this location. So as you can see on the illustration here, we're simply extending the parking that was already there on 41 a little bit further north. I have provided a full update set to planning staff for both this and the lot to the south. The lot to the south was sent in just today. The appropriate egress easements to legalize this arrangement were actually already on the PUD's plat, so there are no revisions required on that front. And I believe groundbreaking is, for both these lots, will still be occurring in 2025, pending hopeful approval this evening. Won't belabor the point too much further. I'm always happy to answer any questions, but otherwise would request approval of development before you.
Questions, comments, anyone? There being none, is there a motion for approval of site plan for Lot 1?
I'll make a motion to approve the site plan for Lot 1.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Vogel, second by Mr. Gomsagel. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
All set. Thank you. Agenda item 7, request to publish 2025-18 Gates of St. John Unit 7A, request for re-subdivision of Lot 888 in the Gates of St. John Unit 7A, located at 10400 Golden Arch Avenue. This is just to be on for October?
Yes, this will be on for the October 16th public meeting, I believe. 15th, October 15th public meeting, and that's when they're requesting to publish for.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve request to publish for subdivision of Lot 888.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Emschway, second by Mr. Gomsagel. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
They'll be back. Item 7B, 2025-19 Lenting, request for a rezone from R2 to C2 located at 10911 West 108th Avenue.
Good evening, Doug Reddick with DVG. I presented this project at the study session, just a rezone of about a 5-acre parcel. We're on the north side of 231, just east of Schneider Street, which is just east of Route 41. A lot of you know the property's got a pond and that little farm stand on the property there. So he owns a larger parcel. He just wants to rezone the south portion from residential R2 to commercial for future purposes. He may put up a commercial building down the road. He's a business owner in town. So simply requesting permission to advertise, come back in October for a public hearing for the rezone.
Questions, comments? If not, would entertain a motion for the request to publish.
I'll make a motion to request to publish.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Vogel, second by Mr. Gomsagel. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
We'll see you in October.
Thank you very much.
Agenda item 8, public comment.
Katie Hegg, 11600 Calumet Avenue, Cedar Lake. Steve Kill, Lawton's rep, said there is no reason to do a traffic study on the development being placed on 101st and Calumet. I strongly disagree. I live on Calumet. I built my home there 10 years ago. The flow of traffic is increasing every year. These developments don't solely affect the street they're placed on. I think we all know that. That's pretty obvious. There are limited routes for people to take from these new developments to get out to other areas. Justin, I know you've taken your kids to Lincoln and you've sat on 231 and you've seen the mess when you try and either get in or out of Lincoln. The traffic is becoming, like I said, a huge problem. It's not fair to allow development to continue unchecked without careful planning and without looking into how these developments are affecting schools, streets, the demand placed on fire and police, water, and potential flooding. You have developers claiming that 5-plus-year-old studies are sufficient. This area has seen major growth in the past 5 years. Billy, I was talking to you on the phone, and you cited that as a reason as to why Don Jr. came to this area, because of the major growth. I think that maybe some of those studies you have done are outdated and need to be relooked at. I think it's interesting that these developers tell you to just trust them. Also, considering the errors the St. John Council has made in their attempt to annex the non-contiguous land north of 133rd between State Line and Calumet, I would think carefully before I simply put my trust in those around you to do the right thing. At the last public hearing, after 2 hours of comment from concerned residents about school capacity, traffic increase, potential flooding, police and fire, a council member told the residents those concerns are not the problem of St. John because it is unincorporated. Not only was that highly insulting to the people who made the effort to attend a 10 a.m. weekday meeting, it's also irresponsible. St. John is the town approving this development. St. John needs to hold these developers accountable for the messes they are leaving in the laps of the residents. This non-contiguous annexation and what they want to develop on it will put 982 units on 168 acres. Imagine the traffic that that's going to add to Calumet. And we're sitting here saying, it's fine, trust us. That's not fair to throw that in our laps and cause us to run around to Lake County Plan Commission meetings, St. John Plan Commission meetings, St. John Town Council meetings, dig through documents, and ask you over and over again to care, to be careful in your planning, to be considerate of those who are already there. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, agenda item 9, motion to adjourn.
Slow moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Vogel, second by Mr. Gomstig. All in favor?